All right, good morning and welcome to the Botswana Student Union Business Webinar. My name is Khosi Motswagole, Vice President of the BSU, and I'm very delighted for you to join us today. Now, our audience includes Botswana studying from different universities across the UK, and we've decided to connect them with a strong role model for the youth, like yourself. And without further ado, I'm going to give up the floor to Mr. Tshepang Mabaila. So he's going to introduce himself, his name, his role, a bit about his background, and maybe a little fun fact for the audience back at home.
Well, thank you very much for inviting me on a very good Saturday, just after the rain, huge rain that we had here in Botswana. I hope everyone is doing quite well that side. And I'm just preparing for another event that I should be giving a motivation to the young people. It's a church event. And later on, I have another event. So it's a packed Saturday. But it's always a pleasure when young people come together and want to learn, feel certain things that can really boost them in their growth. And not only in their growth, something that they can tap wisdom from so that they can grow, so that they can see a difference in their life, so that they can make right decisions. I'm not saying I'm the best of the best, but one can tap one or two things from the conversation that we are having and use it for their growth. So I'm really happy to be invited to this very important webinar or the Botswana Student Union or Forum that will unleash the potential of young people as they grow. I'm Tshepang Mabaila, as you have said. I'm an entrepreneur. I have certain few companies from my group of company, Mabaila Group, and I'm also back in the government now. I'm a public servant. So yeah, so my role, everybody knows is I'm a sport person. I just came back from my 10-kilometer run right now. And yeah, as you said, you are aware that Botswana is hosting next year. The Budapest is coming, I'll be in Budapest next year. And we're ensuring that the young boys are doing quite well and the girls are doing well in athletics, because that's where my passion is, because I was an athlete. Even though during our time will be when you run fast as you can, at least let the ball, to be given a plate or a cup. So it's not unlike now when people are given monies and recognition. So during our times, it was quite, we have been embraced through such kind of gifts. But that's why I'm more into athletics. However, in business, I do quite a number of things. For me, business is not limited to what we have now. Business for me is what can bring money and how do you use that money for. We are looking at the economy, which is crunching, to say the least. It's not doing quite well. Well, with the leadership that we have here, we see a light at the end of the tunnel, that something will come up. But as an individual, you ask yourself, what am I to do? Where am I in the mix? And what am I supposed to do in the mix? How am I going to sustain myself in the next 5 years, in the next 20 years? You look at the generational vision of what is really that I need to do. What is it that I'm going to sustain my family, my wife, my kids, and going forward, how am I going to help my family to be strong? Because we don't know what tomorrow holds for us. Our diamonds are not being sold. We have difficulties with diamonds being sold, and quite a number of commodities that they are stuck. As young people, how can we ensure that we bring forth our elderly to understand that this mode of business they can help. We have AI, which is now coming. We have the use of social media. You see, in UK, in Botswana, and others are in different countries, but we are able to connect. And how can we make business from? To what extent do you use the social media to make an impact to our lives? These are the certain things that, as young people, we need to know. We need to understand that do we use the social media for its purpose, or we use it for another wrong purpose? Because there's only two purposes in life. It is a right purpose and a wrong purpose. There's no any other. It's just like loyalty. Loyalty is either gray or black. You can't say, no, I'm just like this, perhaps sometimes, no. So that's basically what I just wanted to open this conversation so that we can look broader into so many of those things. Because quite a number of times when we discuss these things as young people, we don't also look at what is really impacting us as young people. Nowadays, the social media has taken the center of everything. In our families, when you get into our families, my wife, my children, everyone will be on their iPad, will be on their phones. So we want to know what is really people are learning. Are we teaching our children something that tomorrow they'll be able to stand on themselves, on their feet alone? These are some of the things. You are abroad, your family is here. Do your parents sleep at night? Do they not think about what you're doing? What, because of the drugs issues that now are taking toll on the lives of our young people, issues of alcoholism, a lot of these things, the challenges in lifestyle. We have new trends that are happening. So these are the things that as young people, as the student union, we must look at. And to what extent do we help those who are already in the situation? So as much as we are students, we also have to look at other aspects of life, the life after being a student. It's very important. What do you do? What is your contribution? Not only to the country, to yourself as an individual. What do you do? To what extent do you network with other people? Because when you're that side, we expect you either to get a job that side or to get a job here, but we need you to contribute significantly in the growth of the country. So these are the things that I want us to have a conversation around and see what is it that we can do as human beings. I think I didn't get much of your time.
No, it's all right. I mean, to be honest, you touched on a lot of important things and things that I feel like our audience in particular needs to hear. And it was great stuff, inspirational, motivational, exactly what we needed to start off the session. So thank you for that, I must say. Now then,
You're most welcome.
yes. Now then, you've touched on some of your businesses like the Mabaila Foundation. You've touched on you being into sports. Like, for example, I do see some of your posts sometimes on Facebook, and I find them quite inspirational. You push the youth and the achievements that the athletics team have, for example, and the football team, for example. So that's really great to see as a youth myself. I wish to do great to contribute to that as well, because that's very amazing. I think it's the most amazing thing that I can think of really as a youth in terms of my dreams and ambitions. Now then, of
Yeah.
course, since you've already touched on social media, I just wanted to know, since you've developed a strong digital presence, what role has social media played in succeed in your businesses, for example, since you talked about using it for good? So how can you explain to the youth how social media can push, maybe if somebody wants to start something and do something great, like a business or something like that?
Social media is all about branding. That's number one.
Yes.
How do you brand yourself in the social media?
Right.
When you start from where go, and then you start to do the wrong things, definitely people are not going to follow you. People follow what is best. People are attracted to what is best. If you attract yourself, if you, for a lack of better word, what can I use? If if you mold yourself to become something else in the society, people are going to like what you do. People will associate with that. And in most instances, I always say to people, social media can make or can break. It's two-way. Just like media can break or make. So when you are in social media should play a critical role in terms of how do you want to arrange your life, because so many things people are putting them in social media. And remember, social media is it's a digital footprint. It doesn't delete. It will be there in 3 years time. I remember, I think you also sometimes see your posts that you posted, or your photos that you posted 2 years back, when you're still young, when you're still in your good ages, you're good looking, and then when you today, when you look at them, whoa, man, I'm old. So those are the things that you need to do. You need to use the social media to make impact, not only to yourself, to other people. See, I can advertise people's businesses. It's money. They give me money. I can put my business, if I'm selling something, I put on my social media. I've got numbers. When I was in Tokyo in September for the World Athletics Championships, over 50,000 people were watching in my live feed. It's an impact.
Amazing.
You have impacted so many people, and 50,000 is a lot of. And I'm talking about the race that took only less than 3 minutes, the 200-meter race. And no alliance.
Yes.
And you can see the impact of the social media, and so many people when athletics, when people were starting to see what have I posted about athletics. What have so many people, they don't know that Lisile now is in Monaco for the awards. You tell people see these things because you share information that people can consume, not wrong information. And that's basically what I always tell people. You need to put something in social media that can impact other people's lives, not something that can damage. You don't need to have or put something that does not contribute significantly to other people's lives. So the social media, as you said, must. I'm using the term must because it's very important. Must be used for important information sharing. Because, for instance, if I need my company to do quite well, I use social media for a very strong dissemination of information because people share, people read. It's public. They call it a public open court because anybody can say whatever they want to say in social media. But then again, is how do you handle the social media as an individual? You have to have the strong bone. You have to have the strong mind because it's a village. Like I'll give you a typical example. A Facebook page. It's a village of everybody. Even if you have no account, people can get it with zero account. If they don't have money, they can't even see even pictures. But they can comment. They can comment something really not even something that is related to what you advise. Someone can say something. Someone can come with a pseudo account. A lot of things that can happen. Now we talk of AI. People can make us to kiss other people that we don't even know. People can make us yourself to be sleeping with other people that you don't know. It's social media. It's what the world is giving us today. But what is important is to portray yourself with a very good manner. Is to portray yourself knowing that the social media should reflect who you are. We come from different homes and families. When I do something, when I write something bad, people are going to ask, does this person come from a Mabaila family? Who is this boy? Where does he come from? You see, we have that in our culture. Where does this person come from? And when it's like that, when that question is posed to you, you should know that you have done something wrong. That is how we grew up. So same social media. Social media must be used in a manner in which must be of importance to other people. So for me, social media, you can advertise with the social media, you can gain mileage with the social media. People are being paid through social media posts. People are doing a lot of money. Unfortunately, ours here, we have not yet monetized, but we are coming there. The government of the under the leadership of President Boko is doing quite well to monetize it. So we see changes, but then we need to use the social media for the betterment of ourselves, for the betterment of other people, and also for the growth of our country and for the growth of an individual. Because social media helps to build you to make sure that it brands whatever you do. So for me, social media works quite very well for me. Most of that, I have numbers in social media, especially on Facebook. I've got good numbers. So my fellowship is it's quite good. Yeah.
Yes, I think there's some quite important things you said there on the potential of social media and the followers, and the power you have that you could use it wisely and attract yourself. It leaves digital footprints. You can use it for money. It's currently being monetized in Botswana, so definitely explore as a youthful individual. So I definitely do get your perspective and your passion for social media. It definitely could be life-changing, and it is very very influential, I'd say. All right. Thank you for the answer. And now I like to shift more towards your personal journey and motivation. I like to know about your business journey, what sparked your interest in entrepreneurship, and maybe perhaps one challenge that you faced that made you learn to the point where if you did it again, you'd change the way you would approach it.
Well, There are always extra forces. It's a fact. There are always those that will pull you down. There are those that willingly want you to grow. But we live in that life. We at times face people who doesn't like us. We times face people who likes us. It's a journey.
Yes.
It's a journey of what some sort. But we need to focus on doing the right thing. Now with my journey, I wanted to live a very good life. When I want to go to Budapest for athletics, I need to go there. I need to be able to pay for my flight, for my accommodation, for my any other things that I may need in my travels. To buy a ticket, the ticket for, I'll give you a typical example for for Olympics, just to watch 200 meters, you'd buy it at around 7,000 pula, just for just 3 minutes. So I need that life where I can be able to contribute to other people, donate through my foundation to help other people to succeed. That's the life that I want. That's why I have businesses so that they can augment what I have and what other people are also contributing towards Mabaila Foundation, so that we can help people to grow. So it's not about me only. Yes, I want to live a very good life. I need my kids to go to English medium. I want my wife to drive a car of her dream. I need my wife to have a very good, she should wear clothes that she wants. I need to wear my clothes. I need to present myself very well. I need to contribute significantly to my parents who gave me birth. I need to ensure that my mother's tombstone is there. I need, as an individual, you drive yourself to have a very peaceful life. Peaceful life, also, you have to perhaps have things that will enable you to have such. Sleeping without hungry, sleeping without food, it's not right. Waking up in the morning without food, it's not right. You need to take your children to better schools. You need to take your parents to the best medical facilities, if either abroad or outside, locally. You need to have things that can enable you to do that. So that's the journey why I had to see what really can help me to grow. I have Mabaila Foundation Club and Tap Music Festival that was enacted 3 years back. So it also helps in terms of spiritual aspect of the business wise. I've put it through so that it can also spiritually link with other people outside the country and within in the diaspora, because we have more people coming in for the festival, and even the people are selling. People are doing quite good in terms of their sales outside. So you'll realize that really people are doing quite well with you come up, we implement certain things that are really helpful to them. So for me, I think that's basically what is important. That what made me, or what actually drove me to have some certain business. I need to employ people. I've got a security company that has employed quite a number of people. I've got mobile. I've got my counseling clinic, quite a number of people that it's deal with drug addicts. So we need to help even the community. We need all those things to assist. So that's basically the journey about my business. Really, I mean, I was inspired by men and women who came before me, who I saw doing quite well. And I said, what really can I do? I want to now invest on property, because real estate is a way to go. So I'm moving towards that direction. When we do the next webinar next year, this time around, I'll tell you that I've bought a plot and perhaps I've done few apartments on it. So these are the things that motivates me. When young people do such kind of the student union that bring young people together, I become so inspired as well, because you are inspired by young people, seeing them growing, seeing them contributing significantly in the country. Yes.
Yes, I think one thing that I really liked, you said you wanted to employ people. I think that's very important because obviously the employment crisis in Botswana itself is a big problem. And
Yeah.
I think it's something that young people in today's economy should really look at if they want to think about going for entrepreneurship, etc. Now
Yeah.
then, what advice would you give someone who wants to start a business while abroad or after graduation? And what are some common mistakes can they avoid? Just, yeah.
Money. 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 That's the common mistake. Whatever we get, and whatever we get, we need every door to know that I have got money. I will knock every door to say, let's go out.
Uh-huh.
Let's go out. And money finishes. And one thing that I like people in abroad, I always say to people abroad, take advantage of those places that you are. What is it that those people provide that we don't have? Provide it. Go to China. Come work together. Um, partnerships. Contribute the little that we have. Sell something. While you are still a student,
Yeah.
you know where I started? I started when I was in the military. In fact, when I finished my Form 5, my BGCSE, I
Yeah.
worked in a saloon. Quite a number of people they don't know. I worked in a saloon. I was able to feed my parents back in Saroe. I was able to buy food. I was able to buy electricity. I like myself. I love myself. I like to wear nicely. I like to wear my very expensive suit, my tie, my cologne, my car, my watch, my shoes. I like those things. So I work hard so that I can have them. As you are in school, start when you are still there. Sell those pouches. Sell those cell phones. That are cheaper there. Get them there. Courier them here. Ask people to put money. You start something small. Even if you can make one pull out of it, it's something. You start now. There are clothes that side. Sell us those clothes. They are nice suits. Sell us those suits here. We want them. People will pay for them. There are nice colognes that side. Buy them. Sell us those things. You start with a little. You can say you have a business selling only two colognes, and those columns will buy you another four, and those four will buy you another six. At the end of the day, you have a container coming to Botswana to sell colognes. You have two. Just get something that people like. You have to sell what people like, what people can really it can be beneficial to you. People like clothes. You buy Air Force there. People want to wear them because people we have seen that quite a number of Air Force here. They're just Air Force by the name. They're not of quality. So when you are there, take advantage of that place. Get to see what can people benefit, what can people buy from you, and then you come and use it in Botswana to sell it.
Yes, that's very true. I think one of the most important things you mentioned also was the fact that most of us come from humble beginnings. So when
Yeah,
we think of a business, we think of immediate success, immediate money, becoming
yeah,
rich, instead of starting small, small progress, small wins,
yeah,
and making sure that you learn along the way and you make a difference and you
yeah,
help, whether it's to the economy or you help people. And that's very important in order for your business to succeed long term. So,
definitely.
yes, I really appreciate that advice and the sharing of some mistakes, the main big mistake, which is money when looking at businesses.
Yes.
Yes. Now then, I want to dive into some of the skills that Botswana should learn that could add into the current economy that could be relevant for the next 5 to 10 years that help students abroad to stay competitive back at home, for example.
There's one thing that I can always tell you. One thing, be relevant, be honest, be yourself. That's it. That's it. Nothing beyond that. Because when you are relevant, you'll know what is relevant for now. When you are honest, you'll be honest to yourself to do the right thing. When you focus on the right things only. That's it.
Yes, that's a very interesting, short, brief answer that I feel like it hits the nail. And
Yeah,
I really like it because it's all about yourself, really. It's just owning to your own skills. And yes, it's not necessarily something that you have to pay to learn. So that's a very nice answer, I must say. Now then,
thank you.
in terms of business sectors for young Botswana entrepreneurs, what are some of these business sectors that are promising, perhaps for the next 5 to 10 years? And staying abroad sometimes makes us feel disconnected from the news and what's going on back home. How can students abroad stay connected, basically be up to date with the business opportunities back home and maybe even ride the wave to what's going on?
Social media, social media, social media, and when you don't detach yourself from your culture, it will remain so. Because you'll know that whatever you do is your culture. Whatever you do, you don't just when you come here in Botswana, for instance, when you own this the church, don't just stay mole polole. And then tomorrow I know you have already gone. Oh, when are you going to have that opportunity to see people? Get out of the comfort zone. See people, interact with people, see what people do. That way it helps even for your purposes of growth, even the purposes of networking. You can't stay home and think that everything will come from manna. It doesn't work. You need to stand up for yourself and work hard. Yeah.
Yes, yes. And then as Botswana students studying, obviously abroad or anywhere in the world,
Mm,
what are some trends that
mm.
students should be aware of in terms of things like what people
The
expect?
drugs,
Mm.
drugs, 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 drugs. This is something that is really, really destroying young people. Alcoholism. If young people can work um, against this, don't make it. Drugs, bad friends, bad influence. Simple. Leave those people. Leave those energies and focus on yourself. That's it, sir.
Right. Now, we have come to the end. We've just left with 5 minutes. So I just wanted you to maybe leave a message
Yes.
out there on top of everything you've said for everyone who's going to be watching and basically going to be tuned in, and one thing you want them to take them with as they leave after watching.
Young people, this is my message. Please refrain from drugs and substance abuse. These are the things that ends your life, your ambitions, your growth. This hinders your successes. So once you have taken a step out of drugs, taken a steps out of people who are bad influence, out of people who do not contribute significantly into your life, you will grow. That's what I want to urge you. I would also urge you to know that you have the capacity to do so many things. Everything is in your hands to do the right thing. So for me, that's the message that I'm giving to young people, that they need to grow. They need to um, be themselves. They need to um, build things that will help them as they grow. Thank you.
Yes. And I'd like to thank you very much for joining me today on this webinar. Again, I
Yes.
am very inspired by your business journey and your social media presence, the Mabaila Foundation, which
Yes.
obviously, from what I've read about it, it helps honor veterans. It helps, like I heard it, you once launched in academic and excellence academic awards for schools in Mogoditani when grades were slipping.
Yes.
So stuff like
Yeah.
that is very inspiring. And I just like to thank you very much for joining me today on this webinar. And I hope anybody who watched found it very insightful. The knowledge and advice was very invaluable.
Yes.
And yes, that's very much that's all from me. So thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much. Should I give you the bill? I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm always there. I'm always there to support you guys because I need young people outside in a diaspora to do quite well because you guys you don't have anyone there and you need us.
Yes.
So I'm just a phone call away. Say